28,000 people still without power in Kentucky, 46,000 in Mississippi, 18,000 in Florida, and this is day 6 for some of them. Day 6 in freezing temperatures with no heat, no lights, no way to charge a phone. You need to hear those numbers again because they matter. 28,000 in Kentucky alone sitting in the cold right now while I am talking to you. The question you need to ask yourself is this: is your region next? Because in exactly 30 seconds, I am revealing the dramatic weather pattern shift that's about to reshape the entire month of February. But first, drop your city in the comments right now. I need to know where you're watching from because tomorrow morning, S-Update is going to have personalized forecasts for your specific location. I am going through every single comment tonight to make sure I cover your area. The more specific you are with your location, the more detailed I can be with what S coming your way. So pause for 5 seconds and type your city and state. Do it now. Here's your reward for staying with me. Rapid-fire city updates based on what S happening right now and what S about to change. Kentucky, still 28,000 without power after nearly a week. Mississippi, 46,000 in the dark. Louisiana, 7,000. Florida, 18,000 customers in freezing conditions they never prepared for. North Carolina, 4,000. Hawaii, almost 4,000. New York, 2,200. South Carolina, 2,000. These aren't just numbers. These are families. And the coldest day is breaking record books across multiple states as I am recording this. But here's what nobody is talking about. This extreme Arctic blast you are feeling right now, this record-breaking cold that's dominating headlines, it's about to completely flip. We are talking about a dramatic weather pattern reversal starting the 10th and 11th of February, next Wednesday. That S when everything changes. The storms that have been locked out over the Pacific are going to start training across the entire continental United States. Big snowstorms for the central and northern tier. Severe weather potential for areas that just saw their coldest temperatures in years. And it all happens because of what I am about to show you. The scope of what S coming covers everybody from the Pacific Northwest all the way to the Atlantic. This isn't a regional event. This is a coast-to-coast pattern shift that is going to affect 200 million Americans in different ways over the next 2 weeks. Right now, you're in the grip of an Arctic blast that is bringing extreme wind chills. We re-talking -5 to -30-degree wind chills across the Great Lakes and the Midwest this weekend. That is Saturday and Sunday, the 6th and 7th of February, frostbite in 15 minutes or less with that kind of cold. But after that weekend, the pattern breaks. Here is what makes this different from a normal cold snap that just fades away. We have data. Multiple models. The Pacific North American pattern, the PNA, is shifting into negative phase. Think of this like a seesaw. When the PNA goes negative, you get a deep trough of low pressure along the west coast. That S where storms develop. And you get a high ridge of warm air from the central plains stretching to the Great Lakes. That means warmer temperatures for the south and southeast, but it also means the battleground where warm meets cold is going to be explosive. The Arctic Oscillation is telling us the same story. Cold air is retracting northward starting around the 9th and 10th of February, not completely gone. It's staying right along the central and northern U.S. border. And that S, the problem. That S where you get the collision. Warm, humid air pulled up from the Gulf of Mexico slamming into lingering cold air across the northern states. That S your recipe for severe weather. That S your recipe for heavy snowstorms with tons of moisture. Let me show you what the models are agreeing on. And when both the GFS and the European model agree, confidence goes way up. The GFS shows cold air dominating all the way until next Wednesday or Thursday. Then it dramatically shifts northward. The latest update this morning shows an even faster transition to warmer temperatures across the southern and southeastern U.S. The European model, which is often the most accurate, showed the same cold blast lasting until about the same time frame. But this morning S-Run shifted it even sooner. The warm anomaly is arriving faster than we thought 24 hours ago. This just got more complicated. Look at the 500 millibar vorticity map. That shows rotation in the atmosphere. Everything you need to track for storms is rotation. You can see an upper-level low spinning over the western U.S. right now with a massive high-pressure ridge. That ridge is bringing above-average warmth to the west, while the deep trough is hammering the Midwest, Great Lakes, and Northeast with bitter cold Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of this week. That system might clip Tennessee, Kentucky, and the Ohio Valley with 1 to 3 inches of snow, but the latest trends are shifting that storm track further north. Then watch what happens as we go into next week. That high-pressure ridge starts sliding eastward, and all those low-pressure systems rotating around the Pacific start marching across the country, one after another, storm after storm. This is called a progressive pattern. When you write in a progressive weather pattern with a negative PNA, you don't get one storm. You get a train of them. Just like I promised at the start, here's your detailed breakdown, city by city, state by state. And I'm going to vary my delivery because nobody wants to sit through a boring list. Let's make this count. Kentucky, you are first because you've been hit the hardest. 28,000 of you are still without power from last week's ice storm. This Thursday morning, you are getting another blast of cold. Wind chills dropping to single digits, maybe even below zero in northern counties. Friday, that cold shifts toward the East Coast, and you will be in a warmer bubble temporarily. But Saturday and Sunday bring extreme wind chills again as another Arctic push comes through. -5 to -20 degrees possible. That is dangerous cold. After Sunday, things start changing. By Wednesday of next week, February 11th or 12th, you could see temperatures climbing back into the 40s and 50s. The cold fronts will still come through every morning, but nothing like what you are enduring now. Mississippi, 46,000 without power. Your timeline is similar. Thursday morning brings another freeze with wind chills in the teens and 20s. This is the South. You are not built for this. Let your faucets drip. Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Protect any exposed pipes. Friday, you will warm up slightly as the cold retreats east. The weekend isn't as brutal for you as it will be up north, but you all still feel wind chills in the 20s and 30s. Then next week, starting Monday and Tuesday, the 9th and 10th, you are jumping into the 60s. By Wednesday, you could hit the 70s. That S when the severe weather concern kicks in for you. Louisiana, 7,000 still in the dark. New Orleans and Baton Rouge, you are looking at one more hard freeze Thursday morning. Temperatures in the low 20s, wind chills in the teens. Citrus growers, you know this drill. You've been dealing with freeze warnings all week. After Friday, you are done with the worst of it. Next week brings you back to the 60s and 70s where you belong in early February. But keep an eye on Wednesday and Thursday of next week. That S when storms with severe weather potential could fire up as warm, humid air surges north. Florida, 18,000 customers without electricity. This has been historic cold for you, especially central and northern Florida. Thursday morning is your coldest. Frost and freeze warnings from Tallahassee to Orlando. Even South Florida is seeing temperatures 15 to 20 degrees below normal. But relief is coming fast. By the weekend, you will be recovering. Next week, South Florida jumps back into the 80s. That S late January and early February weather you expect. North Florida will be in the 70s. The prolonged cold is over after this final push. North Carolina, 4,000 outages remaining. This weekend might bring a glaze of ice or coating of snow in the mountains. Nothing major. Low pressure forms offshore, but one to bring a significant storm. After that, you warm up into next week with 40s and 50s. South Carolina, 2,000 without power. Thursday is your last hard freeze. This weekend stays cold but not record-breaking. Next week, you back in the 50s and 60s. New York, 2,200 outages. Buffalo, Rochester, Syracuse, Albany, New York City. Saturday and Sunday are going to be brutal for you. We are already talking about extreme wind chills. -10 to -30 in upstate areas. Even the city could see wind chills near zero or below. The Arctic air dumps in behind the Clipper system Friday night. This is dangerous cold. Frostbite in 15 to 30 minutes on exposed skin. Keep a full tank of gas in your vehicle. If you get stranded, that could save your life. Bundle up in layers. After Sunday, the worst of the wind chills ease, but you will stay below average into next week. When the pattern shifts, you the battleground. Wednesday and Thursday of next week could bring a significant storm system your way. Now let us jump to the Midwest where things are going to get extreme this weekend. Chicago, you've seen cold before, but Saturday and Sunday are next level. Wind chills -15 to -25 degrees, maybe colder in the northern suburbs. That S colder than most of you have felt in years. The duration is what makes this dangerous. You're going to spend more than 48 hours below 10 degrees. Keep checking on elderly neighbors. Anyone vulnerable to cold needs extra attention during this stretch. Monday and Tuesday of next week, you will warm up temporarily into the 20s and 30s. Then Wednesday brings the potential for a major storm system as the pattern flips. Milwaukee, this is severe. You are looking at the same wind chill scenario as Chicago, -20 to -30 degrees Saturday and Sunday. This isn't just uncomfortable. This is life-threatening if you are unprepared. Limit time outside, cover all exposed skin, and then Wednesday of next week, you could see a significant snowstorm as one of those Pacific systems finally makes it across the country with Gulf moisture loaded in. Minneapolis, you handle cold better than most, but Saturday morning could bring wind chills of -30 to -40 degrees. That's extreme even for you. After that weekend blast, next week moderates slightly, but you are still going to be the cold side of the battleground when these storms start rolling through. Lake effect enhancement could kick in for areas downwind of the Great Lakes. Detroit, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, same story. Extreme wind chills Saturday and Sunday. Then you are in the zone for potential heavy snow next week as the pattern transitions. The timing matters here. If that Wednesday storm tracks just right, you could see significant accumulation. I'll have better details tomorrow as the models refine. Kansas City, you are first in line for the warmer air next week. Monday and Tuesday, you jump into the 40s and 50s. But that also puts you in the severe weather risk zone. When warm, humid air surges north and meets lingering cold aloft, that S when you get strong storms. Damaging winds are the primary threat, but we can rule out isolated tornadoes if the setup is right. This is early February. It's not typical, but it happens when you get these dramatic pattern flips. Moving south where things get interesting. Dallas and Houston, you've already been through hell with the power outages and record cold from last week's ice storm. This Thursday brings one more freeze, but it's not as extreme as what you dealt with. After Friday, you re-warming up fast. Next week, you'll be in the 60s and 70s. That's huge relief after spending days in the 20s. But monitor next Wednesday and Thursday. Severe weather is possible as storms fire up along the boundary. St. Louis, Memphis, Little Rock, you are in the transition zone. This weekend stays cold. Next week warms up significantly. Wednesday and Thursday bring storm potential, heavy rain, strong winds, maybe isolated severe weather depending on how much instability builds. Now here's what makes the timing critical. This isn't just one storm passing through next week. This is a pattern change. That negative PNA setup I showed you earlier means storms are going to keep training across the country. Wednesday's system might be the first significant one, but there is likely another one right behind it for Thursday or Friday, and then potentially more the following week. When you lock into this type of pattern, it can persist for 7 to 10 days or longer. The sequence is what makes this dangerous for different regions. The South gets severe weather first as warm air surges. Then as those systems move northeast, the cold air wraps around behind them and you get heavy snow for the Great Lakes, the Midwest, the Northeast. It's a 1-2 punch. Severe weather on the warm side, heavy snow on the cold side, and power outages are a major concern because if you get wet, heavy snow or ice, and trees and power lines are already stressed from the previous storm, things break. Here's what concerns me most for everyone in the path. If you are in the south or southeast, you just endured the coldest stretch in years. Some of you lost power, some of you had frozen pipes. Now you are about to shift into a severe weather pattern. Make sure your weather radio works. Make sure you have a way to get warnings. Tornadoes in February aren't common, but they happen, especially with these kinds of dramatic pattern changes. If you are in the northern tier, Great Lakes, Midwest, Northeast, you are going into this weekend's extreme cold with infrastructure already stressed. Power grids are working hard. After that, you are looking at potential heavy snowstorms just days later. Have supplies ready. Keep at least a half tank of gas in your vehicle at all times. Stock up on batteries, flashlights, non-perishable food. This isn't panic. This is preparation. For the western U.S., you're getting snow. The northern Rockies, the Cascades, the Sierra Nevada could all see significant accumulation as those systems come onshore. Atmospheric river potential exists too. Heavy rain at lower elevations. That means flooding concerns for California, Oregon, Washington, mudslides in burn scar areas. This is an active pattern for everybody. New model data shows this could extend beyond just next week. The long-range guidance from both the GFS and European models suggests this negative PNA pattern might persist all the way through the middle of February. That's another 7 to 10 days of this setup. Storms keep coming. The South stays warmer than average with severe weather risk. The North stays colder than average with snow potential. The West stays active with heavy precipitation. Way too early for specific details on systems beyond next Wednesday and Thursday, but not too early to track the overall pattern. I'll be updating you every single morning with refined forecasts as the models come into better agreement on timing and placement. Things will shift, tracks will adjust. But the big picture setup is becoming clear. Let me give you the practical impacts right now. If you are in the extreme cold zone this weekend, exposed skin can freeze in 15 to 30 minutes. That frostbite territory. Cover every bit of skin. Wear layers. Wear insulated gloves. Protect your face. Let faucets drip if you have pipes in exterior walls. Even a tiny trickle prevents freezing. Open cabinet doors under sinks to let warm air circulate. For the South, don't use your oven to heat your home. Don't run generators indoors. Carbon monoxide kills. Keep your gas tank half full. If stranded in extreme cold, your car is your shelter and you need fuel. Have blankets, water, snacks, and a phone charger in your vehicle. Next week, when the pattern shifts and you re-in severe weather territory, have multiple ways to get warnings. Weather radio, phone alerts, local news, know your safe space, interior room, lowest floor, away from windows. If you re-in the snow zone, get supplies now. Food that doesn't require cooking if power goes out. Batteries, flashlights, battery packs for phones. Check on elderly neighbors. Anyone with medical conditions. Anyone who might need help. Here is what I know with high confidence. This weekend brings extreme cold to the Great Lakes, Midwest, and Northeast. Wind chills of -20 to -40 degrees in spots. After that, the pattern shifts. By Wednesday, February 11th, we're rewatching the first significant storm in this new pattern. Severe weather possible for the South. Heavy snow possible for the northern tier. Here S uncertain. The exact track of Wednesday's storm determines who gets what. A shift of 50 miles changes everything. Models will refine overnight. I'll have better clarity tomorrow. I am not sensationalizing. I am informing. If I've succeeded in giving you actionable information without fear-mongering, I appreciate your trust. But understand the stakes. Extreme cold kills, severe weather kills, heavy snow causes accidents and outages. This is serious. Tomorrow morning, video will have updated model data, refined snowfall totals for next week's system, temperature adjustments for the weekend cold, and preliminary information on any additional systems behind Wednesday's storm. I am going live by 8 a.m. Eastern, possibly earlier if major changes occur overnight. You will want this information because things could change. Forecast confidence is high on the overall pattern, but low on specific details beyond 3 or 4 days. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell. I need you to see tomorrow's update because the timing and placement details for next week's storm are critical. If you re-in the path, you need to know by Wednesday morning at the latest so you can prepare Tuesday. Your action deadlines are simple. If you are in the extreme cold zone, prepare by Friday night. Stock up Friday. Winterize Friday. Saturday morning, the extreme cold arrives. If you are in the storm zone next week, prepare by Tuesday. Don't wait until Wednesday morning when the storm is already developing. Get your supplies Tuesday. Charge your devices Tuesday night. Check your generator if you have one. Fill your gas tank Tuesday. Drop your city in the comments one more time. Let me know where you are watching from. I am personalizing tomorrow as forecast based on the locations I see in the comments tonight. The more people from a specific city, the more detail I'll provide for that area. Thank you for trusting me with your weather information. I don't take that lightly. This is a critical 2-week stretch ahead. Multiple hazards, multiple threats, different impacts for different regions. I am not here to panic you. I am here to prepare you. There's a difference. Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Eastern or earlier, I'll have critical updates. Track shifts are possible overnight. Snowfall totals could increase or decrease depending on where the models settle. You won't want to miss it. This pattern change is significant, and it is going to affect everyone from the Pacific to the Atlantic in different ways over the next 14 days. Make sure you resubscribed. Turn on notifications. I'll see you tomorrow morning with the latest data. Stay safe this weekend in the extreme cold. Stay weather aware next week as the pattern flips. And remember, 6 more weeks of winter ahead.